It'd be like that sometimes.
Sure does.
So, over the last week and a half, we've seen three of our city boys,
Okay.
old Jacky, Mr. Erling Haaland, and starting us off about a week and a half ago after his brace, Mr. Mateo Kovacic, all scoring goals and all celebrating by sticking their thumb in their mouth like this because all three are expecting. So how wild is it that three of them all at the same time are expecting kiddos and they all score around the same time to do all this? Like, that shit's wild, man. Wild.
Fucking that. All right. Can you imagine next generation, right? They're all boys. They're all playing together. It could
They all gonna be the same birth year. They're all gonna be coming up through the academies at the same time.
right? It could happen.
That's a hell of a three.
Boys! What's happening? Welcome, everybody, to the Snobby podcast. I'm your host, Colby. That is my homeboy Joe over there.
What up? Welcome.
Welcome. We've got quite an episode for you guys tonight. Before we do that, make sure that you make sure that you hit the subscription, make sure that you hit the notification bell so you know what the fuck we're doing. We do want to welcome our listeners, and please do us a favor. Make sure you check in and say hey in the comments. Let us know you're here. We'd love to know that people are actually engaging in what the fuck we're doing, not just two heads talking on a fucking screen, right?
A little back and forth is always good and appreciated. We like that. Makes for a more fun show. Go passes the time a little faster.
Man,
and what's up? What did you say?
Funner,
bro.
It's been
it has been a long ass weekend, man. It's been a long weekend.
I'm sorry. Please forgive.
It's a more enjoyable experience for everybody if you eloquently engage with us via the comment section.
It's fun. We like to have fun. You like to have fun? I like to party. Do you like to party? If you like to party,
Wayne,
make sure that you throw up some balloons or like a present, maybe a cake.
Hey,
comments. Let us know you're here. That's all we want. So Joe, what are we talking about tonight, bro?
Tonight, with no city matches again, still to recap since we are on the international break. We still gotta wait another week, bro. Not until next Sunday do we get city back on our watching agenda for the weekend. So for tonight, we're gonna cover this big city news topics since we last were on Wednesday. So Thursday to today, there's some things that popped with some of our players on the during their international duties that they've been a part of. So we're going to cover some of that. And then since it is Sunday, we are going to continue with our fun new game and series of Who's That Baller. So we're going to continue this on Sundays, not midweek. And maybe it might be every other Sunday. We'll see how it goes. But it's a fun game to bring out. And we're going to wrap up the show with some Who's That Baller and just some open chat with ourselves and or you all if you decide to drop comments for us. So,
and I also brought some hints this time, so I'm not just like winging it. So this will be fun, and I'm fairly certain for everybody in here tonight who's playing along, or for everybody whom is not and is late to the game. I hope that I stumped the shit out of you on this one, and I think that I will.
Confident words coming from the man himself.
I mean,
I like it.
What? All right, let's get into it.
Let's do that. Let's start with one of the gentlemen that we already spoke about in our cold open, Mr. Jack Grealish. You had mentioned that it looked like in the first Nations League match that he wasn't even a part of the squad. It might have been an injury that cropped up. I missed that one. What?
So I look beginning of the week. Well, I think going into the weekend, really,
Mm-hmm.
I had saw somewhere along the line that he had picked up a little bit of an injury, and I had questioned it because I didn't really think that there was any validity to it. To be honest, I was just like, how is he doing that? And then lo and behold, today he shows up starting and has
Mm-hmm.
a baller fucking match. By the way,
Yeah, he surely did. Didn't catch it myself, but excuse me,
you're excused.
that's so polite of you. I appreciate it. Um, when your teammates are glowing about you, I was just when scrolling and prepping for the show, I saw Declan Rice was like absolutely gushing about Jack Grealish. Um, let me see if I can. I thought I had it up, but I don't think I do. But let's see, he said, "Do you know how good Jack Grealish is? Honestly, watching him in training and games, he's got something really special as a footballer. The way he takes the ball under pressure, takes touches, relieves the team of pressure is just incredible." That's
Facts.
very high. That's very high praise from a teammate. Uh, so clearly, he was doing his thing, and those are some of the things that we like seeing from him. When he's wearing the sky blue, because he's not always the one creating the assist. He's not always the one finishing a chance, but that relieving pressure for others and continuing to recycle the ball, getting almost like the hockey assist, the pass before the assist, um, so important. So it's nice to see that he's getting recognized by his peers in such a way.
It would also be nice if everybody get off his fucking ass. If I'm being honest,
That part.
like I can't stand it when I get on and I see people fucking thrashing him for no fucking reason whatsoever. I don't see. Maybe I'm just not seeing what these other people are seeing. I see a class player on the field. I see somebody who is now maturing, who is able to take the ball in and do it confidently and be able to shake off one, two, maybe even three. I, I really feel what's up, Nick. I really feel the scrutiny that he gets is unwarranted, and it's really just bitching to bitch. I see that a lot. That's something we're probably going to get into a little bit later. I'm feeling a little spicy about that because I'm getting really tired of getting on X and getting on Instagram and getting on Threads and seeing just stupidity, ungratefulness. It's got to stop, man. It really takes a toll on the sport and really like fandom in general. Like being that miserable all the time over what? Something that didn't go your way.
Or how you predicted it to go, so now
Right.
you look like an idiot because
Right.
you allegedly don't know what you're talking about. Guess what? It's predictions, dude. It's
Right.
not the end of the world if it doesn't go right. If
Yeah.
you don't get something correct or you say something that's wrong on social media
Yeah.
and it doesn't go your way, hey, okay, no big
And if
deal.
you are wrong, take the high road and accountability and say, hey,
Yeah,
you know what? I fucked up.
I
I
missed
thought
that
it was going to
one.
be this way. It
Sorry.
was that way. Didn't happen that way. It is what it is. I can't
No
call it all
biggie.
the time. Nobody can. That's the fucking thing. Everybody thinks they can call it and they can't call it ever. And when they do call it, like it goes unrecognized anyways. So like
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. There's
Exactly.
just the grumpiness. I don't see it here in the American sports, man. I don't see the level of grumpiness that I see on the Premier League side. I'm just sorry. It's just the way that it is. I understand like being like super passionate about your club. We're just as passionate as the rest of you guys. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be sitting here on a fucking screen talking about it to little strangers if we didn't. And it's just I don't know. I think everybody needs to just take a step back and be grateful for where we're at because you know if you think back 15 years ago, it wasn't really like this.
Nope.
Nope. What's
Sal
up?
is back.
Ah, let's go. Let's go. Hey, did you get a chance to listen to the last episode? We took one of your talking points.
On
And
Wednesday night show.
yeah, we dissected it pretty well. I hope you got a chance. So let us know if you did. But back to Jack. Yeah, I just think the scrutiny is unwarranted when he gets it, especially how he is today. Now, the one thing I will say is, how is this going to translate to club? Because whenever he is in the national team side, he seems to perform just a little bit better. But I also think that's because he's being given control. And he, like Carlsley, is letting people actually work in the front. Hello.
If you're just listening, I shifted my weight in my chair, and
And it
the
shifted
chair
everything in his house.
the chair rattled the desk a little bit and gave us a little earthquake test, but we're awake now. So
Good. Good.
um let's flip that script around with the national team for a player from Jack, who seems to excel when playing for the national team, but maybe not, I won't say struggle, that's the wrong word, but maybe isn't as effective as he is with the national team, with his club team. And that's our star boy, Mr. Foden. Excels for club.
Yeah.
Beautiful, like Premier League player, writer, Pro Football Writers Association player of the year, all that stuff. But the last, I think, 15 matches with England, no goals, no assists.
Yeah.
And
And he's catching flack for that shit too.
he's
A
getting
lot.
a little beat up.
Yeah.
And I think there's a little bit warranted with that one, I think, to an extent. For sure, he's being under Southgate being played out of position majority of the time. The structure wasn't there with any kind of regular formation or direction. Really, it was like, hey, y'all go figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's hard to criticize him too much for that. On the same side, you kind of expect at least some kind of goal contribution when you're in an attacking role for a national team of that quality. So I don't think he should be getting banged on too much, but I do think maybe I think there is something to the conversation about why it seems to be so good with City, and then when he's with the national team, which still has some City players in it, he's frequently playing with Stonesy, with Kyle Walker. Now Rico Lewis is getting regular run with Jacky. Um, it's just really, really interesting to see how some players perform well for club and not so great with the national team, and then some do really well with the national team and not so great with the club. Like the whole dynamic is so different from what we experience with American sports over here.
Mm-hmm.
So for those on the American side here with us, when they see things like this, I guess it's interesting setup. So what are your thoughts on Phil right now with the England squad?
I mean, I'm actually going to take something that Hal said about Jack with his assignment, but I'm actually going to use it on Foden because I think
Mm-hmm.
that he's not quite comfortable being there, really, especially with Jude constantly being around him. I think you need to choose who your attacker is at this point if you're going to run that and not have the both of them because, in all honesty, Jude's going to hog up the ball the most he possibly can. He's going to take shots when he can. And I don't think Foden's getting the ball enough, to be honest. I think that when he's on the ball, he could be a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gets just the jitters
Mm-hmm.
when he goes on a national team. I mean, he's still very young, and this is a dream. And I know he's been in it for a while, and it shouldn't be anything brand new, but I mean, it's still there's probably still something there. You know what I mean?
Maybe he's pressing a little too hard, trying to prove himself.
Yes, I think that's the exact wording that I needed to use. Yes. Otherwise, I mean, I just don't really. I don't know what else to make of it. I mean, he just Carlsley isn't using him properly. Maybe that's the only thing I can really boil this down to.
It seemed like the first match in this window, he I think came out and said that they were straight experimenting for like the first 25-30 minutes of the match with formations and everything. So I think that's a big part of that one. And then with with the Jude piece, I think that's a big part of it. Because I don't think those two fit well together, especially when you're both almost playing a double 10.
Mhm.
To me, Jude's not a 10. He's always been an
No,
8. He's more of a box to box kind of guy who's going to
right.
sit back, help recycle possession, make some late runs into the box, but he's not the creative guy because
No,
he's not really looking to move the ball on when he's getting it. When he gets on the ball, he's looking to drive and shoot. There's really not anything else to his game in that situation. And I think Phil's trying to play like he does at City with the
that
national team with a bunch of players that
don't know how to play pet ball, right?
or how to really share the ball
Well, that too.
at
That too.
times.
That too. But what's funny when what I just said is that a lot, and even a lot of people have seen it, is that Carlsley is actually taking the Pep approach to this. So I
Trying to,
feel like
yeah.
he's trying to fit what Foden can do, and even with Rico emerging from the fullback position and working inverted, I feel like he's trying to imply the same type of tactics, but it's not going to work because of exactly what you just said. There are too many other players who want a chance. Saka was a fucking prime example of that in the first game from this break, and he ended up getting shit on. So
Hmm.
like, and again with Foden, like there were a couple of times in today's match where he was in good space and he just wasn't getting the ball.
Yep.
You know what I
And
mean?
you could see times too where he was dropping deeper to try to get on the ball to help
Yeah,
and pointing to where he wanted people to pass the ball to create the space for himself, and they just either didn't see him pointing, weren't listening, or had previously ahead of time decided they're going to pass it somewhere else. But you could see, I think at times see his frustration because he's like, "Hey, we need to move the ball here," trying to direct traffic, and he's not getting the response from
mhm,
majority of his teammates as he would like to get to help, in his eyes, produce better results for the club or
right,
for the national for his team at the time. So
right. I want to go back to actually Hal's comment though about how Jack being under a different assignment with Pep. We absolutely agree with you. It's a different. What Pep is doing with him is I kind of feel like he's making him a quote unquote system player, but that's really how our whole team is built. You're all system players. There is not a star that really shines. There is whoever shines on that day does, and he helps create the opportunities for everybody to have said chances whenever he can. You know what I mean? But like, or whenever that player can. I yeah, I don't know. I think that I think that a lot of people don't see the difference between playing club ball and playing country ball, and they gray the lines. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Or they blur the lines, and it's just you have to understand that you're going to play differently everywhere you go. It's not going to be the same ball. Tactics are obviously going to be different. If everybody used the same tactics, then we'd be hitting each other with the ball at that point. There's not. That's all it is, you know. Um, the expectations. I think it's just the expectations that a player should play a certain way because he is coached by a certain coach. No, he's taking direction from the coach that he's currently with. He's not thinking about club ball or when he's in international ball. You know what I mean? So, same back and forth.
Mhm.
Sorry, my words are getting a little jumbled right now. Probably shouldn't have hit the pen Griffey Jr. before we got on. Oops,
It happens, bro.
it happens.
Um,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna, if that was all, unless you had anything else, I was going to shift to another one of our players for England, but on the U21 level,
Yeah,
um, Mr. McAtee
Macca.
went ahead and scored himself a brace, and then with a absolutely touching gesture, lifted
Yes,
his shirt after the first goal and paid tribute to his former teammate George Baldock, and then he had the number 2 on there, and he went out and scored 2 goals on the night. So that was just very very nice moment from James to do that, and then to honor his friend and former teammate by scoring 2. Just lovely, and you love to see the humanity come through because that's part of the reason why we love the beautiful game is that piece of it.
right.
And then you love to see when our guys go off on international duty and perform so well, especially one like McAtee, who's younger, who's pushing his way into the first team and has looked good since preseason with the first team lads. So you love to see that momentum carrying over into the club, and then he can hopefully translate that back when he comes and rejoins the squad here in about a week, in a couple days, however long that is, whenever they come back. But so kudos to McAtee for the goals and the gesture.
He's really blossoming, and yes, the gesture. If I correct me if I'm wrong, but this young lad also uh, he unalived himself, if I'm not mistaken. And this goes right into what we started the month with, as far as mental health and all that stuff. It's serious, and it's getting worse, especially as the season goes into winter. Man, if you got some shit going on, please, please, please go talk to somebody. Please feel free to talk to us. We will be discreet. Your business is not for everybody else, and if you trust us enough to want to speak with us, we will welcome that and we will honor that. So, I hope that wasn't the case, as Joe's looking, but
Yeah, it looked like the reports are he drowned while swimming by himself. There was no real from everything I've been looking and seeing. They haven't come up with anything else further than that.
right,
For a grown adult to drown on their own, I guess there's probably something more to that. I won't speculate on
no,
that further, but
no,
we'll see what continues to come out after. It's just a unfortunate tragedy at this point, is what
right.
everybody's been reporting, and we'll keep with that.
Too many young people are dying, though, regardless. So
Hmm.
ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. The depression, anxiety, all of those mental health issues that people are struggling with, it's trickling down further and further to the younger age group. Man, it's really unfortunate to see kids as young as our youngest kids struggle with anxiety, with stress, with feelings of overwhelming, feelings that overwhelm them, not knowing how to explain what they're feeling. And it's just it's it's something that touches everybody from all ages, all genders, races. It's a worldwide thing, not just an American thing, not just a white thing, black thing, whatever. It's everybody. So please, like Colby said, reach out to someone you trust. You are worth it. People care.
Every single day.
Hmm.
Every single day. Let's switch the gear. Um,
Yeah,
Aguero's in the news.
Sergio.
Kun Aguero's in the news. He plans on suing Barca over money owed in 2021.
So you're telling me that Barcelona isn't paying players and clubs what they owe? I can't hear you now. You moving your mic. I got
Touch
you. How dare you touch the microphone, sir?
Now I can't hear you because the volume went down. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Good.
Okay. So let's try that again. So you mean to tell me that Barcelona is unable or is unwilling to pay what they owe?
Imagine that.
That's crazy, bro.
Thank you
They
for
d-
sticking with us during our technical
oh my gosh. That club still owes City for the Ferran Torres transfer from that same time frame. They're supposed to pay us 55 M's and can't even do that. And I'm sure that several of their players back then were being asked to take pay cuts and or retire rather than them be paid what they were owed and contractually obligated to pay them.
Mhm.
That club is just an absolute mess.
What did ODB say? Now, bitch, give me my money.
So good for Sergio for going after what he's owed, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not like he's not making money, but like a deal's a deal.
Yeah, it's a principle of the matter at this point. Like,
It's not my problem. You can't pay. It's not my problem.
kind
Give me my
no,
money
and
and I'll be gone.
to piggyback off of that, piece there. We've mentioned in the past shows, international window is prime time for rumor mill to start turning, and the ones that I see coming out and about, and
Not for me,
especially one
mate.
that bingo, exactly, the one that came out today that made us both just cringe and then probably laugh at the same time was Erling Haaland officially, according to El Nacional over in Spain. Um, they're saying that he's already decided his future and it's not in England, so he wants to go to Spain, according to these
Excuse me?
folks. Last time I checked, that's exactly what they were reporting when it was clear he was leaving Dortmund and he came to Manchester City. Let's briefly break that down. Madrid has Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Jude Bellingham all in the 4 attacking positions. He ain't going there.
Raheem Diaz to back it all up.
He ain't going there. Atletico Madrid, they just signed Julian Alvarez. He's not going there. That leaves one other club, Barcelona, who can't even pay Sergio Aguero what he's owed. You're going to mean to tell me they're going to be able to come up with almost $200 million to pay us and then be able to pay his salary? El Nacional, go do one. That's an absolute shit show of a rumor. Shut the fuck up.
That.
Means I'm good here, right? I'm done for the night.
Whistle didn't blow yet. Wow.
I got to get my butt spanked on Who's That Baller later, so I got to stick around for that.
Yeah.
On more city-related topics with the APT ruling, there's been news floating around about other Premier League clubs are starting to see the light with City and feel like the AP2 rules are unlawful, in that we have the opportunity to claim damages if we have been financially damaged by the unlawful APT rules, which we probably knew already was a possibility, and the Premier League might have to fork up a huge portion of our legal fees. And you have seen, yeah, that's usually how it works in these situations. This isn't news. The losing party typically has to help out with the cheddar cheese of the winning party. And if you saw the number of lawyers that we have been bringing to the table, and
they're not bottom of the barrel either.
Oh no, they are they are the expensive ones.
Yeah,
so
that's top shelf shit we're buying right there.
Oh yeah. So that really is the biggest piece that's popped since the initial ruling came out, is that and then I think Masters, the Premier League CEO, kind of did some backtracking too, where initially when the first ruling came out, he was saying how we're going to have an emergency meeting and rewrite these laws real quick. And then he was like, actually, we're going to take our time and we're going to, include all the clubs and we're going to write these appropriately and not try to rush through things. So clearly there's backtracking going on in the Premier League's part.
Backpedal.
Exactly. So we continue to be shown in a positive light here. And it's very clear at this point who the winner of this lawsuit is.
Very clear.
Yeah.
Very clear who won this lawsuit. And the fact that people still are on about the fact that are saying that this has no weight on the 115 charges. Yes, the fuck it does. Yes, it fucking does.
It clearly does.
Research. If you don't know law, you can go onto your internet, to your Google machine, and you can learn about law. You know why? Because they print it there for you to read.
And they even have like this helpful thing where AI will summarize the shit for you at the top of your Google page now. So you don't even have to go clicking very far.
No. Literally, it gathers all the fucking information from all the sources, says, here you go. This is what it is.
Here's your summary that you can speak on.
if you don't know how to ask a question, like I'm pretty sure that we learned all that and here in America on search engine stuff. I feel like everybody learned that around the middle school to early high school years. So if you're not doing it, you're the idiot.
You're the problem in that
You
situation.
are, and you are 100% the fucking problem.
Exactly, Nick.
GPT.
Just ask them. They'll tell you.
Listen, hey, that helped me with college courses. I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
lie. Well, no,
Ye-
so now they actually have a way of checking whether or not you're actually using Chat GPT, which is wild to me. But for lack of better terms, I mean, it is nothing more than lazy plagiarism. If you're just
Paraphrasing, bro. What are you talking
right,
about? We learned how to paraphrase early on in our school year. In our
right,
school years, you just take what you read and then paraphrase it.
right.
You're not stealing it.
Yep. Let's talk about
So
the ladies.
they went on the road to Liverpool and came back from a 1-goal deficit. Bunny Shaw had a brace. She scored a stoppage time winner to defeat the Scousers. So the ladies will have moved back to the top of the women's Super League table. They sit on 10 points and they are performing very well. And they haven't really had the full complement of players at their disposal for a single match quite yet. So,
Look at this guy.
hey, Luke, what's going on? Yeah, up late, my
Yep,
guy.
late as hell. Thank you for staying up
Appreciate
and
it.
hanging out, man. Appreciate it, man. Good to see you and doing good. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Yes, road to 300. Road to 300. We need to make that. I don't understand it. So you guys skyrocketed over there, right? All you guys, and we're staying stagnant. So how do we jump to the next level? Maybe we can have a little chat.
DM
But
us,
then also,
bro.
everybody who does watch could just do their part and say, I'm going to send it and let everybody know this is what I'm watching. These guys are fucking dope.
Just saying.
Just saying.
We're pretty cool guys.
The Leyland outlets like Talk Shite, yes, Sky, The Guardian spun this historic victory is just crazy. It's pure jealousy.
That's exactly what it is.
It's pure jealousy, man. It's why not me? Why not me? Oliver Twist, please, man, can I have some more? Like, dude, it's petty, it's childish, it's juvenile. The stupidity, especially it comes from Talk Sport, man. Like, if that's supposed to be like one of your I don't know if it is. I feel like maybe Sky is more so, but like if Talk Sport's going to be your flagship, there has to be a level of fairness in the way that we talk about clubs, because you can't just sit there and one-sided shit on one club while these other clubs are doing the stupidest shit in the world, and you're giving them sparkles and balloons. That's bullshit. And honestly, this is going back to something we said last week, and I've said plenty of times before. There's racism lying in this. There's no other after reducing all the different ways people have tried to attack us. The one that's the most common is the fact that we are of somebody else's money that isn't from their homeland. Dude, who gives a fucking shit? Like, really, who gives a fuck? Who owns what team? If they can make your team better, good. If they didn't make it, or if it's because it's not your team picking that guy over, they didn't want to buy your ass. Whose fucking fault is that? Your business model probably sucked, and they said not investing in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, that fucking simple, guys.
It's been well documented why Sheikh Mansour chose Manchester City to buy, and it's because of the groundwork and the loyalty of the fans that have been with this club through the roller coaster of seasons that they've been on. They've been up and down the pyramid over there, and the fan base there, the supporters have been with them from the get-go through all of that, and they saw that and were like, there is an opportunity here to truly build something special. And then they went about it and laid a very clear business plan and followed through with it with the right people. And then on top of that, threw a buttload of money into the city, into the community, and tried to help build up the area around the campus and try to make just the city itself better. They ingratiate themselves into the club, into the community, into the fan, all of those things. So sorry, it's not you,
Yeah.
but
And it's so funny because in the one attack of you're a glory hunter, not really. Not really. I hated United. I know you hated United too.
mm-hmm.
I hated before I even started like really focusing in on the sport. Finding out that there was an opposite side to a city that I like over there because of, growing up, different types of music, clearly fucking Oasis. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking choose that club. The right club's a bunch of douche tools.
And their fans over here are the same
They
way.
know it all. They know it all. Bro, some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard has come out of these people's mouths. And I wonder how some of them even have any type of affiliation to the game over here. And then I think to myself, well, that's why it's so shit over here, because you got people like them.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we're the Snobby Boys, by the way. We got a question from Tony on YouTube. He asked, what was our background story as to why we're called the Snobby Boys. It's a slight on those assholes, really.
Mm-hmm.
They're snobby little bitches. They think they're fucking high and mighty. They're not. They're not, man. They are not the standard anymore, and that hurts them so deep inside. So like, we gotta flip the shit back on them, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the funniest shit for our folks across the pond when you're an American City fan, when Arsenal, when Liverpool, when Manchester United, when Real Madrid fans that live in America have the gall to call us glory hunters.
Right? What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you from Manchester? Are you from Madrid?
Right?
Are you from Barcelona? Oh, you're not? You picked that club because your dad liked them. Okay, sure, buddy. Why did your dad pick them? Oh, because they were winning every fucking thing.
Because they were winning.
So I tolerate zero glory hunting shit from American people. It's the hypocrisy level is just and then when you throw that in their face, they try to be like, well, y'all spend all the money. I'm like, hey, do your research. Your club spends just as much money as we do. You invented spending a lot of money. Get the fuck out of here.
Bingo, El Ringo. Just so everybody knows what I was saying that too, Hal put in a comment, glory hunter. People don't know how hard it is to be a City supporter. It would be much easier to support Liverpool, United, Arsenal. The level of shit we take is huge. And it is all fucking time.
There you go, Hal.
I don't go out of my fucking way. I don't go out of my way to go talk shit to other people, even if we beat the fuck out of them. I would rather take a Spartan Reserve type stance and say, you know what? I did do that. And we're going to do it again and again and again. Get used to it.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
We saw it on the field. I don't need to say it to you. The scoreline tells it all. Scoreline tells it all. But if you want to start it, we will absolutely finish that shit. So, but I'm not going to come up to you and start talking shit to your team. But I tell you what, anytime I'm out in like DC or in the metropolitan areas and I'm wearing City stuff, people always come up and say, now it's little kids always like, hey, you're a City fan? I love Manchester City. I'm like, well done, young lad. They're like, who's your favorite player? I'm like, Phil Foden. They're like, who's? And then they're like, I love Erling Haaland. I'm like, can you name somebody else on the team?
Yeah, right.
And they're like, well, I love where you're at. Now let's build on this, young lad, and let's learn some more players.
There's 23. Please. There's 23 total players. You should know all of them because they're all fucking good.
Yeah. So, but that's what I get is usually little kids coming up to me because they see me when my City stuff. But usually it's people want to take shots at us first, and then I'm like, well, if that's what you want to do, I'm ready for you. The ammo is already there. So
If you're trying to draw first blood, you already know your shit. That's why.
yes, exactly. Um, looks like Hugo Viana is official coming in starting 2025, and he'll spend the next 5 months of the new calendar year with the transition plan and learning the ropes with Cheeky and the rest of the squad. So big shoes to fill, massive shoes to fill. But from all reports from people who know this guy, he's a top notch, top quality choice. So very much excited to see what he's going to bring to the table. And I love that we continue to do things the right way with bringing him in early and letting him learn on the job with guidance from Cheeky instead of just like doing it when once he's retired, then he takes over. No. We're going to do this right. You're going to get 5 months of learning on the job with him, who's the best in the business, and then you'll be ready to take the reins fully in the summertime. So it's nice to see that that's official. It's happening. I love when this happens and I see all the pictures going around and everybody reporting the same thing. Can I make a request of all of our fellow
Glasses are coming off for this one.
fellow content creators when it comes to these stories that pop up? Please, if you're going to report the same story, which is fine because everybody does it, can we at least change the picture? Everybody uses the same picture that they first see. No, yeah. You keep the glasses off because I want you to keep going because that's clearly something important. But just to kick this off, everybody shares the exact same picture. There, again, Google is your friend. Type his name in. There's more than just the one picture that Fabrizio shares first. You can use other shit, okay? And you don't have to just copy word for word what he's posting and what he's saying.
Like, write your own fucking thought.
Please.
Like, is that so fucking hard? It's called paraphrasing. All you have to do is read the column and say, okay, important point, thought, personal spin. Okay, cool. Just copy and pasting is like I'm sure it helps with the algorithm. Cool. That's how
probably exactly.
That's how you got popular. But remind yourselves that you're not getting popular off of your opinion. That's what we're here for. We're here for our opinions. You know what I mean? Our spin on it. For us, it's all about taking the facts and making sure that we're talking about the facts and doing them some sort of service rather than just taking something, which is typically a jump to conclusion thought, and then perpetuating it out into the public and basically creating some sort of, I don't know how to say that, but like a hysteria even.
Mm-hmm.
It's so... maybe it's just beneath me. I don't know what it is. And I don't mean to sound like a pompous, arrogant prick. Probably did. But it is what it is. It's just like we're here to tell the world what we see about city and converse about it and take in the different perspectives. Because there's things that I learn every day off of somebody else's perspective. Now, I'm not saying that I see a lot of perspectives because I do see a lot of copy and paste. But it would just be nice that way, like just seeing some of us who are in our own little way. And I look at all of us in the podcasting community this way, is we're all the anti-journos. Well, let's be that. Let's stop doing the same shit that talk shit's doing. Let's stop doing the same shit that Sky's doing. The mirror reports, the daily reports. Like that's make up your own thoughts. It's okay to do that. You don't have to be a conformist. And that's where I'll end that.
Where are we going next? Let's do
let's kind of track that into people specifically with this topic with Hugo Viana coming in. There's this automatic thought jump to conclusion that Pep is on his way out. Now, I know we questioned it last week. The more I sit on it, it's just like, no, you guys are just trying to push a story and a narrative because you don't have anything else to fucking write about. We're in international break. What an opportune time to get in people's asses and get them all huffy puffy. Dude, you got to stop listening to that shit. Until Pep says it himself, until he comes out in a presser and says, I'm done, this is the timetable I'm giving you, it ain't real. It's completely fiction, guys. Don't perpetuate shit that's not real.
And of course, the first name that gets thrown out is Sporting's head coach,
Right.
who's also Portuguese. And then right down the pipe after that, the next couple of stories you see are Diogo Costa, who's also Portuguese, is coming in, and Ederson is leaving. He's going to Saudi again, and we want Diogo Costa. Like, it's such lazy journal. The links are so obvious and clear that it's just lazy. It's just lazy. And Pep was, I think it was he was on something. I didn't dive into it too much, but they were asking him about, if he's going to be the next England manager and things like that. He's like, I'm the Manchester City manager. I'm not doing anything. Anything is possible, because that's the truth. Anything is possible. But right now he's Man City's manager, and he's going to make a decision. He hasn't decided anything yet. So any reports on an extension are just reports of that. They're alleged reports, because he hasn't agreed to anything yet. Any reports of him leaving after this year, also just bogus, like Holtby just mentioned.
Absolutely.
Because Pep has maintained, we've talked about this ad nauseum, he has maintained that they will have a conversation November, December, and then decide next steps from there. So until then, any reports coming out are just space fillers, people trying to stir up trouble where there is none and generate clicks for themselves.
Yep.
So
yep.
Don't buy into that stuff.
Beware of clickbait.
Big facts.
So there were some rumors that were going around about Zubamendi potentially coming in and being I guess you could say, Rodri replacement. He has completely shut that down.
Yep.
There is no weight to that whatsoever. He said he's going to continue on in his journey where he's at. So we can officially wipe that one off the board as a potential signing for not just the winter, but even going on to next summer. How I'm gonna star that for you, buddy. Because we are going to be doing more crowd interactions when we get back from our break. Right now, we're technically in extra time, so we will get on that. Before we go out to a couple other things, I'm sure all of you do your research and check the internet as often as possible. There was a kit leak for the 25-26 season. If you haven't seen it yet, we brought it in to show you guys. So go ahead and take a look at it here.
From Footy Headlines.
Footy Headlines, of course. This would be the first time City would don a sash across their chest in blue. If you can tell, they actually took the shirt from this year and simply put a white collar with a blue back, white armbands, and the side panels, little slashes there on the side panels. That is this year's shirt, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And all they did
100%.
Was wipe that out and make a weird looking city crest. And if that's the road we go down, cool. I'm not totally opposed to it. I don't think it's the best.
It's basic for right now.
Has some cooler design ideas. I would really like to see maybe like a map of Manchester, like just the city center, or something that has to do with the city that's implemented into the shirt again, whether it be like a I don't know how you would say it. It was like a really faded. It's really deep in there. Can't really see it unless you're really up on it.
Mm-hmm.
It pays a little bit more tribute to the city. I really liked that whole trend that city's been on with paying homage to a lot of things within the community. I think that's fucking dope as shit. So yeah, there's that. And
the other piece to that real quick is just Footy Headlines is usually pretty good with capturing these things. However, kit releases for the next year don't usually pop up in like October. So
Right.
take that with a grain of salt, because usually this stuff starts popping up when the new year turns. So it's a little early for kit leaks and speculation on next year's kits. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Hal, I have to agree with you, dude. They are hit or miss. The one thing that I've talked about a couple times before is I do not like the fact that these clothing brands, these kit designers, are literally using templates across all of them. You should be giving the big clubs that you're making these for their own shit. Like, it needs to look different than everybody else's. Because if I can see see the similarities between ours and RB Salzburg, that's an issue. That's a big issue. So I think that needs to get fixed. I'm with you on that too. They are hit or miss. So I say don't wait for that logo. Make that logo.
I think he wants us to take care of doing it because our designs are the bomb.
Oh. You know?
Or he's talking about this design you just created, and we're talking through. We need to just make it and not wait on the club to do something with it, and just use that as a shirt idea for us. He has faith in your
there are
design
so many ideas just pouring in.
I know, I can see it. We can't see your eyes because of the glasses, but I can tell the look on your face is just the wheels are turning.
They're turning really hard. They're turning really, really hard. All right, so last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with before we go to our little break. The Manchester City background. Yeah. One thing I want to go through. I'm gonna have a laugh with everybody because he's the easiest one to laugh at any given point in time. Goldbridge got utterly fucking trolled on his past episode, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. So I'm gonna let you guys see it real quick.
Cayman cider is the best. You should try it, says Becky. Thanks, Becky. Well, I'm not going to drink again now until the tour. So hopefully, the next time I drink, I'm going to drink in the March international break. I know I'll drink before then. You know what it's like after. I'm not drinking again. I just realised that I've been trolled, haven't I?
Cayman cider.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
Thanks, Becky. Thanks, Becky.
Thank you, Becky. Whoever you are a fucking legend.
And if your name truly is Becky, one, that's fucking awesome.
Yes.
Two, that just adds another layer to the troll piece. And two, if it's just wonderful work all around. Let's all take a moment just to laugh at that douche nozzle.
My God, oh my God! All right, I'm gonna put up.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. I'm gonna play the ad instead of our intermission this time.
All Manchester City fans are glory hunting plastics. Every single one of them claims to have supported them since the 70s, even though they were only born in the 90s. But I'm willing to give Manchester City Plastics an opportunity to prove me wrong.
Welcome back from the break. I had to wipe my face.
Got real tears going then.
No, I missed a little bit.
Got real tears. You can't wipe the tears with a terrible towel.
Oh,
bro.
These are good tears that go on a towel. Listen, everything goes on a fucking terrible towel, right? Except the opponent's feet. By the way, that's a fucking curse if everybody doesn't know that.
I did know that.
I figured you did. Oh my god! All right, so let's catch up with the comment. Totally cracking up to be a ring. People have said that my laugh often mimics Seth Rogen. So
yes, that definitely fits. That definitely fits.
Dude, Hal, thank you for hanging out with us, man. Thanks for finally joining the comments section and getting in. We love talking with you guys so much. It's so cool to like meet people from different places that have the same interests, and we all can just laugh and have a fucking good time. Whether it's on a Sunday night or what. I'm sorry. The Becky thing is still killing me, man.
You're welcome.
Nailed it.
Georgie, you know you have a place here.
You have a spot.
You can come join us anytime, buddy. But you can come hang out with us anytime, buddy.
Yeah, dude. All you gotta do is get an email or in our inbox. We'll have you on. That goes for anybody.
Figure out time. Yeah.
It goes for anybody. You want to get on with us? You want to talk? Shoot the shit. Get to know us. Whatever. Hit us with DMs.
You can join us for the whole hour and a half. You can join us for
15 minutes.
25 minutes, whatever you want, man. If you just want to do a segment with us and pop in for a bit, cool. Just let us know, man. We're open.
Always.
We are open.
Somebody come get her.
Oh, my Lord. My belly.
It hurts. It hurts. Oh, man. All right. So we're going to do a little talking point with you guys. What did you just say? What's the email, though? Come on, man. Come on.
Oh.
Listen, if you want to be lazy about it, you can go right to our Instagram page, and there's a button that says email. Hit it.
There you go, brother.
You still haven't got it.
Nick. Yes.
Oh shit.
George, Nick, and Hal for participating with the laughter this evening. If we still had a MySpace, y'all would make our top 6.
Yes. Oh my god. All right. So talking points from the comments. We're going to do that tonight. So if you guys have any specific talking points that you would like us to touch on for like 5 or 10 minutes, feel free to throw them in the comments. Give them a read. Otherwise, we're just gonna. You're excused. We're just gonna.
Big yawn.
Oh yeah, it was big boy yawn. We're just gonna have some open chat and just talk bullshit. I mean, we basically talked about City. We're gonna spend our evening broing out. So let's bro up. Dude. So let's go to the first talking point. Dude, Tom. Is Tom Anderson still alive? Did he unalive himself because he became unpopular? I hope not.
We need him back.
We need him back. Zuckerberg sucks.
Facts. That part.
He's a giant lady.
He's a turd. Two opposite sides of the body there.
Yep. Why? You know what though? On that topic, why would they put a sewer next to a playground?
It just makes no sense. But some people like playing in sewers, though.
I was that kid. I thought I was a Ninja Turtle.
Okay, favorite Ninja Turtle, go. Who are you pretending to be
Who
when
do
you're
you
playing?
think my favorite one is?
Raphael.
Ding, 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 ding. Was it that hard to guess?
I guess I had a 25% chance of getting it correct.
You're right. You're right. But with my personality, Really?
Bingo, El Ringo.
Sorry,
Who was
my
who was my
glasses
favorite?
are fucking-
Who was my favorite? Who do you think?
You could lean a Leo, but you could also be a Mikey. Are you a Mikey? You're a Leo. Okay, because
Yes.
you're definitely not a Donnie.
No.
Donnies are for like super nerds
Facts.
or just really intellectually awkward people.
Yeah, I straddle the line though for sure between Mikey and Leo, but I shade more towards the Leo side.
You know, that actually is kind of funny too, because you and my cousin Jason, you guys are very much alike in a lot of ways. And funny enough, your birthdays are like almost right next to each other.
Damn.
He's
Meant to be.
He loves Leo. That was his thing. Like, and for me, because he picked Leo and I wanted to be the leader, and my favorite color was blue growing up. I was like, fucking dick. And I always played ranked because he's older than me, and I was like, well, you got it first because you're older. You know what I mean? Raph was the best choice.
That's the funny part about all that is that those two had the most conflict amongst the brothers, which which is awesome.
Yeah. Good shit. So
y'all let us know which your favorite Ninja Turtle was.
Yeah, throw in who your favorite Ninja Turtle.
Drop it in the comments and let us know.
Or maybe your favorite character was Krang. I don't know. Or Bebop and Rocksteady. If it was,
or Master Splinter, or Shredder.
April
O'Neil
is his names. If anybody
April O'Neil.
Let's speak. Where'd it go? So House said on next topic, future topic, the last overlap episode, that shit was wild. Some of these rivals need to get cooked. Yes. All of them need to get cooked. Hard.
My favorite is when Big Steve goes on those shows and just obliterates people. Oh my God. You can't question his knowledge or his support for the club. So
he actually lives in Manchester, Brent.
Looking at you, bro. But you can't argue with any of the points that he brings up and drops on these dudes and just makes them all look like absolute tool bags. So Big Steve, shout out, keep doing the Lord's work by shutting down the Red Cartel's talking heads at all opportunities.
Yep.
Never stop.
Jordan had a good one. MCFC Daps, he had a good one this week with Never a Foul. There was a guy on there, he's a Tottenham supporter, and he was going on about the fact that he thought that Tottenham were going to end up doing better than it wasn't Arsenal. It was something. I forget who it was, but like, I'm sorry if Cam is in here tonight. I love Ange Postecoglou too, but all the same, they're gonna get fucking worked. The season, it's still a long season, and they're gonna Spurs it up like they always fucking do. Like, it was. If you guys catch it, go on a Never a Foul, follow them, and check out the clip.
They are very entertaining too.
They are extremely entertaining. And to be fair, I even put it in one of our stories. Jordan, the clip, it's him. He's sitting there, and this dude says this, and he goes, I was like, I put it there. I was like, the cringe face says it all. And he was like, nah, that wasn't a cringe face. Sometimes I just do that. I was like, come on, be real. And he was like,
bro,
nah, you right.
Bro.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video game for Super Nintendo was fucking awesome. Yes, it was. And so was the arcade game that they had in Pizza Hut.
Oh my God. Bro. I would play that nonstop.
Non-fucking stop. When Pizza Hut was actually awesome.
My pops was in the Navy, so anytime we would go to the PX and my mom, that'd be the time where my mom would like load up 2 grocery carts full of shit. They had a little arcade attached to it, and I was like, so while you go do that,
You got
Yes.
a fucking arcade in your grocery store?
Well, the PX on base
Oh,
was the
okay.
PX.
Got
It
you.
was the grocery store, the like the clothing, home goods store. All that was like in one big facility on the base here on Fort Meade.
Oh, got you.
So walking down past those stores, there was like a little small arcade for the kiddos, and I was like, so I'm gonna be down there, and that's the game that I would crush.
Yes, every single time. Speaking of like random video gaming and places, remember that grocery store we went to in Columbus? Giant Eagle,
Yes,
right? So
you guys say it the right way, like he just did.
Giant Eagle.
It's not Giant Eagle.
Giant Eagle.
Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle.
So growing up, I mean, that was the grocery store, the big grocery store there in the Pittsburgh area, and we had moved out to the burbs, well out into the burbs at this point, and they had just built a brand new one right by the turnpike.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one that we went to. Well, in this new one, they had right there in the front, typically where like there's that one register that typically has like the cigarettes, or you have to like send money orders and shit like that.
Yeah,
Right
customer
there,
service and shit. Yeah.
right. So customer service, yeah. So right there in the front, right next to the customer service, they had this big enclosed room that was for kids, and they had like fucking 5 TVs, and each
Yes.
one of them had a different console on it. I was probably about 9, 10 when this came about. I had no shame going in there and saying, "Hey, Mom, I don't want to walk around with you. I want to play video games." It was the fucking best. It was why grocery stores aren't doing that still, or why haven't adopted that idea everywhere is ridiculous to me. I don't want to walk around with my kid in the grocery store.
I would not
He
get
asked me to
anything
buy
done
them
at the grocery. I would not get anything done at the grocery store because I would be sitting in there with the children. I'm gonna be 100% real. I'd be sitting over there, and Steph and the girls would be like, "Dad left for the grocery store like an hour and a half ago. He's usually back by now."
Right.
What? Ring, ring, ring. Where are you at? I'm at the grocery store. Have you got anything yet? The cart's still empty.
I got a high score.
I'm kicking this little boy's ass in Madden. What?
He's talking shit the whole time too.
Just keeping it real.
Reminds me of that scene from the breakup when he's sitting there playing Madden and he's talking shit to that little kid. He's like, "I pay bills. I live in the real life, kid."
Yeah, so funny. You know what? I need to spend some time watching. That keeps sitting on my screen because I have X up on my other screen. Is Man City's got the Phil Foden documentary. The Phil documentary is like the highlight trailer is up on my screen over there, and I keep peeking over, and all I see is just Phil, just young Phil at like 8, 9 years old, just ripping shots left and right. So I need to spend some time this week and watch that documentary.
Same. I have not gotten to it. I have a laundry list of movies that I'm going through. I actually haven't seen Terrifier yet, and being that it's Halloween season, I feel it's probably the best time. I'm absolutely fucking petrified of clowns, like evil clowns, and it all roots in it. Like that.
Yeah, that shit's fucking scary, bro.
Tim Curry is a clown, and then all of a sudden he changed.
Oh my god, I'm good.
Fucked with me the rest of my life. I still haven't seen the new It. I will.
Same. I will not watch it. Nope.
But because you see that Terrifier guy in a lot of reels,
yeah,
he does that smile. I don't know. I feel like there's something good about it, like even a little bit like Rob Zombie natured, and I love Rob Zombie films. So like, I'm going to give that a go. And then there's a couple of other ones. One that I just watched since we're kind of talking about Halloween. If nobody's seen it, it's on Netflix. I believe it's called Deliverance. It has Glenn Close in it. It's filmed.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's filmed right around where I was, like, I grew up.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so you get to see Pittsburgh aside from the cities, and dude, if you're somebody who likes paranormal type stuff where it deals with possession and stuff like that, that's my favorite type of horror. I don't know what it is, but it's just my favorite type. It feels real sometimes.
That shit's the ones that scare me the most. I don't care about the gore and that kind of stuff, but the paranormal stuff, like that's the one that like creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, Yeah. But it's not like the rest of them where you actually see. I mean, you do see them like physically possessed,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's not like the other ones. It puts a little bit of a different spin on it, and I was at first apprehensive about it because I was just like, if you look at some of the documentation, like they don't look like that when if they are so called possessed. So
Right.
like it's throwing me off, but dude, give it a shot. It's good. Everybody out there too. Um, let's see. We're losing people. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's do you want to do some who's that baller or do we want,
Let's jump into it.
let's do it.
Let's
All right.
get it.
All
Let's
right,
get
guys.
it.
We have been doing this little game. If you're new here, haven't seen it yet. What's that? I will never forget when Pep said that Phil was special early on. I mean, since that never uses that. No, he doesn't. He said, yeah, he doesn't use that loosely at all. And excuse me, it's a very high compliment coming from somebody, especially like you said, who does not say that very often. Phil is fucking special. This will be a generational talent. This will be who kids aspire to be as they're growing up, as they're playing this game. No, I want to be the next Phil. I want to be the next Oscar Bob even.
Mm-hmm.
And God, we have a whole year yet still before we see him cook again.
Yep. Truly cook like he was in the summertime.
Yeah, he looked great in preseason, but even in the first couple of matches, man, he just looked lights out, focused, there, present, ready to contribute. Yeah, dude, but extremely special, and it's a real testament to not only the academy, but our ability to scout.
Oh yeah.
We have some of the best scouts, I feel like, in all of sports. You bring in people the likes of Manu Akanji and fucking Julian Alvarez for on the low. Imagine where we're also looking where our sources lately have been Argentinian or at least South American lately. I haven't seen us kind of veer off of that path, and I don't know if that's just because Pep works so well with South Americans or what, but keep bringing them. I don't care.
That's a whole really untapped area to bring in the young ones, and they keep coming because they are uber talented. A lot of times before the European clubs were coming to grab, they were oftentimes, when this was not the best for their career trajectory probably, but they were going north but staying on our hemisphere and going up into Liga MX, and the MLS was actually pulling quite a few Argentinian and Brazil, like South American talent coming up into our area.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems that the European giants are starting to recognize that there's lots of talent to be had down there, obviously at a younger age where they can grab them, get them into their academy and help them grow. So
speaking of since we're on it, South American talent, we actually just signed, or there was a kid from Boca Juniors who just signed a contract, 17 years old, I forget his name. But it's basically a futures contract with the City Football Group. They'll basically be placing him at any one of the sister clubs. I'm assuming in hopes that he'll develop in the City Football Group and then eventually come to City.
Luca Andrade.
Boom! There it is. Gotta love
17-year-old.
Yep.
Free transfer.
Yep. So good business is still being done. It might be a little ways off, but I mean, really, let's be honest. Do we really need anything right now? A midfielder might be for next season, and somebody to shore up the defense. I think will be the next two things we go after. Oh shit, Joker 2 thoughts. Red Stinker, but
That's all. That's all I've seen from internet folks too. But
yeah. Well, and Rotten Tomatoes isn't doing too good with it, I believe. That's usually where I kind of gauge whether or not it's going to be good. The fact that it is a musical, I feel like hinders it. Um,
hmm
that's
there's some people that won't give it a chance
the
just because
average
of that.
comic book nerd, or especially somebody who's so specific to like DC and the Batman universe. They don't want to see that shit because that's not really a part of the fucking story. Is he a clown? Is he a performer and all that shit? Yeah, sure he is. But also the fact that you're bringing in Harley Quinn so quickly, she wasn't really a factor in the Joker's world because I am a fucking Batman nerd. He wasn't a factor in the Batman, or she wasn't a factor in the Batman universe until Joker was much older. And from the looks of it, Arthur Fleck in this one is maybe late 30s, early 40s. I mean, he certainly looks wore the fuck out, but I would guess that's his timeline. I wouldn't imagine that he came into contact with Harley Quinn until he was about 20 years older. If you're looking at the full timeline of everything and the comics the way that I know them. So I don't know. And then also the fact that Lady Gaga's doing it, like she's I might let my politics fly right here. She's fucking libtard, and I can't get behind her. She said some pretty outlandish things, and as an Italian American, I would have thought that her mind would have been elsewhere, or at least in a more correct state. I just don't really care for her. Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. I love him.
That he is.
He's done so many diverse roles, and he's played them so well. And he's one of the last real methodical actors that is in the industry. You know, the last great one before that was Daniel Day-Lewis, and you just don't find actors like that anymore. I mean, there's still Christian Bale. He tries to do it as much as possible. And there's a few others, but Joaquin does a very good job of it. I actually was in, and this is a really creepy movie of his, but I enjoyed it because I understood where they were coming from and in the process of trying to convey what future life may look like if we start getting involved with artificial intelligence. And that was her. It was very melancholy. I'll say that. But still a good movie. Very, very good acting. But overall thoughts, yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I plan on seeing it because I've not seen every DC movie that's come out. Even that shoddy fucking Green Lantern. What the fuck was Ryan Reynolds thinking? Dude, he went on both sides of the fucking both territories and said, I got a shitty role here and I got a shitty role there. I'm glad that Fox was like, can you reprise that? Because what you did before, what the fuck was that? The original Deadpool and the Wolverine Origins was atrocious.
It was not great.
No. And you're more of a Marvel person. When in the storyline does Deadpool have fucking swords coming out of his fucking arms? Never.
I was gonna say that was news to me.
Never.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
Fox screwed the pooch on that one, but shit. Good question. You guys got any more? Any more? What do we got here on the watch? Oh, damn, that sucks.
what?
This is completely non-sport related. So,
Oh,
Aiden Hutchinson, he plays for the Lions, out for the season.
I saw you got carted off.
Yeah, didn't look really good. So
That's unfortunate.
yeah, there was a lot of wild football today, wasn't it?
Indeed, it was.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, questions. Oh wait, who's that baller? We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
All right. So as we said, we've been doing this. I've actually brought some hints this time. So we're gonna go into the first one. I'm gonna make them a little easy, and then it's gonna get really hard. We're only gonna do 3 this time because I feel like doing 5, 6, 7 of them is overkill, and then I fucking burn a lot of everybody.
Good material.
Fucking club, right?
3 is a perfect number.
Right. So the first one, he's one of our own, but he developed elsewhere. I'm going to give you like 15 seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
McAtee?
Is it?
Maybe?
Maybe? Ding, 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 ding. All right.
It was either him or Bernie. Those were the two that I thought, but I'm pretty sure we used Bernie before. So
Correctamunda.
So that led me to McAtee.
Good job.
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody else got it in the comments.
I
Guys,
didn't see any pop in.
Please play along, especially these next two. For the first one of the two might be easy. Second one is going to be a heater. Well, we're going to see who our true fans are in here tonight.
The high stinky cheese.
The high stinky cheese. All right, second one. He made a generation of men stand in a certain way. Oh, sorry. Also a fashion trendsetter. Do you know who it is?
Is that a footballer?
It is not a footballer. He likes to accentuate his words as well.
Likes to accentuate his words. Oh boy. Struggle busting.
Not for me, mate.
Struggle busting right now for me. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah. I'm getting no help from the comments.
You really haven't gotten it after the last two I just gave you? Are you fucking kidding me?
Is that Noel?
This is coming up.
Who's that? Oh my lord.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Come on. I wasn't going to tell you that he was a fucking musician. That just fucking gave the whole goddamn thing away.
Struggle bus, man.
Oh. All right.
One
tiebreaker. Win or lose
for
tonight.
two.
Which one's it going to be?
Hey, we're going to find out here in about 30 seconds or so.
Yeah. All right. City legend. Okay. This is a deep cut. He's German born. And if you can't tell by his position in the picture, he was a goalkeeper. Does anybody know who it is? Don't you go looking for fucking answers. I can see you.
It's not that name. That's not how I spell it or say it.
I need to get I need to get the Jeopardy thing.
That's Bert, isn't it? Is that Troutman?
Boom. Good job, buddy. Even though I think that you totally just...
I did not. I looked up... Yeah, let's see. Pat got it. Good job, Pat.
Thank you, Pat. Nice one. All right, hold on. I got to pull it off. Got one. Who would y'all take all-time City keeper? Bert Troutman, Ederson Mara, Alex Williams. Well, how real do you want me to be?
As real as humanly possible.
Well, I can tell you for certain, I have never personally seen Bert Trotman or Alex Williams play. So it would it would be very defeating for me to sit there and try to talk on either one of them and say that they're better than Ederson. So from my limited perspective, I'm gonna have to just settle on Ederson. I say that because Burt could probably be the best one, but we're talking about two different speeds of a game from then to now.
One of the big things that folks like to do in America is compare players across eras. Like they love debating Jordan versus LeBron
Nope.
and Shaq and Wilt Chamberlain and all that kind of stuff. And I refuse to participate. Yes, that's fair because you got evidence against each other. But like Shaq versus Wilt, I'm sorry, it's a totally different game. So I refuse to participate in those. And then they like to do this. They go, well, if you put LeBron back with Michael, he would dominate. And Michael, if you put him now, or olden time players coming to this year, they wouldn't be able to keep up. They don't have the same kind of training. It's so dumb because one, you're taking the future player with all of the benefits of training and plopping them back when there wasn't any, but you're not giving that same respect to the older players who are coming to the new age, new era. No, you have to then, if you're going to transplant them, they get all the same training. They get all that stuff. So I had those conversations, debates got real old real quick for me. Anytime they wanted to debate past players versus the eras are totally different. So you have to almost look at it as just tiers of your favorites, not who's the GOAT, who's the best.
Right.
Because it's the game, all games, American football, basketball, the footy, we know, hockey, baseball, all of these things have evolved and changed so much that it's hard to compare across eras like that for me.
I'm not going to compare Gordie Howe with Brett Hull and Sidney Crosby or Alexander Ovechkin. Like that's preposterous. Not only that, but they didn't all play the same position. That would also be like me saying Joe Green or Adama Sue.
Right.
No.
For all-time city keeper, though, because of everything that Ederson has won and how much his skill set, along with the way that Pep has deployed.
Right, hold on a second. That wasn't a rag on Howe. That kind of just
registered
in my head. Not to
That was definitely not towards Hal at all. That was just triggered a
general
feeling about a general discussion that happens all the time in America.
Yeah.
But for all-time city keeper, Ederson and Pep have changed the way keepers play across the globe. They have to be good with their feet now. They have to participate in the build-up.
Yeah.
So for me, all-time city keeper, if you're building an all-time 11, Ederson's got to be the one between the pipes, in my opinion.
Facts.
With all respect to Alex Williams and Bert. Dude, it's so hard to not to get sucked into those things because it's so hard.
It is.
For me, I'm a basketball dude growing up, so anytime and I love me some Michael Jordan. Hence, one of my kids' first name is Jordan, spelled with a Y, not an A though. But so anytime back when I was less mature, I'll say, I would go hard on the LeBron heads and crush them at all times when that debate would come up. But now I've gotten a little wiser, I hope, and a little more mature and realized that it's just not worth my time. So we're just as guilty as you, bro. So
it's really not. Yeah, and that's honestly, but that's probably the biggest comparison I've heard in my generation. Pat, I'm going to get into that in a second. That's why I put it up there so everybody knows. Next thing we're probably going to be talking about here. Appreciate the question. Appreciate you being here too. Yeah, that comparison, it is so stale. It's so stale. They're not even the same player. And also championships, right? Who has a losing record? Who doesn't? Oh, wait, Jordan doesn't even have a 1 in the losing column.
For
Jordan,
our non
for our non-basketball people. Yeah.
and for our non for the folks across the pond, if you're an American football fan, you'll get this. You play to win the game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Play to win. Play to win.
There it is.
All right. So
Shohei Ohtani. Man,
yeah,
that dude
Shohei
is
Ohtani. He's so. I was talking about this with Megan earlier because Aiden. I was talking to Aiden about this, and I was kind of getting an understanding. Megan happened to be sitting here listening, and she had made a comment, and I was like, Shohei Ohtani is actually this generation's Babe Ruth. He's a dual threat. He's both on the mound and at the plate. A threat. He's an unstoppable force. Practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sergio.
No, you're good. His introduction and then the recent change that baseball finally made with adding the pitch clock.
Yeah.
To shorten up the games and to quicken the pace a bit. Massively good decisions because previously, games were going until 4.5 hours long.
Yeah, dude.
That ain't the way to bring in new, younger fans who have attention spans of a fucking gnat.
And it's not like there's like a show in between each inning to keep anybody entertained. It's just
them running out and throwing the ball around until the commercial break is done.
Yeah.
So baseball, well done on adding the pitch clock. I know it was a hot topic when it first came up. The traditional folks were crushing it and not happy about it, but it really was, I think, one of the best decisions they could have made to help continue to grow the game.
Yeah,
and it obviously helps to have stars that are performing so well during the regular season, but also participating in the postseason, and Shohei getting a chance to shine in a big market like LA. Always a good thing. It's going to keep bringing eyes to it. And like Colby said, seeing a guy who was so elite as a pitcher this day and age, but then also be able to turn around and use the bat,
ball out of the park,
and steal bases. And people like to poo-poo him now because he's just a DH right now because he's not pitching this year. He's just DHing.
Yeah, I think he's just taking the DH role this year.
So it's like he's not, just because he's not playing in the field, it poo-poos him as a player because he's only doing one part of the job.
Right. Least amount of the job, if we're being
honest.
Yeah.
What he's doing is historic.
Yeah.
And we've never seen this before. So that guy, continue to do what you're doing, man. You're bringing a lot of eyes to a fun sport.
For me, baseball, baseball was my sport growing up. It's my pastime. I have to say though that literally baseball started to die for me. And this is going to sound so fucked up. Baseball started to die for me when steroids became illegal in the game, and they really cracked down on it. So I feel like the last great show era of baseball was Sammy Sosa and Mark.
98. Summer 98. That was an incredible season.
After that, it was like the Yankees, the Yankees, the Yankees, the Yankees, the Yankees. And I was fucking done with the Yankees. And then finally, Boston broke their curse. That was great. I was happy for them, right? But somebody like me, growing up in Pittsburgh, being a Buccos fan, I haven't seen a fucking winning season my entire life. Except for I think it was the 2016 season. They got into the wild card, and that was when they shook Johnny Cueto off the fucking mound. It's a bitch of a sport. I'll say that, and I always say that because of the way the structure is built. If you know anything about baseball, I assume a lot of you don't. Pat, you just getting into it. The Pirates, the Pittsburgh Pirates, we call them the Buccos in Pittsburgh. They are one of the richest teams in the MLB, and we are a farm team for literally the Yankees and every other major market team. It's atrocious and it's awful. I mean, I don't know if you saw what happened to Rowdy Tellez. They capped his, or they literally they made him an RFA at the end of the season, so they didn't have to pay out his $200,000 bonus, which was within his next 4 at bats.
Yep.
That's shitty fucking business, and this is why, for me personally, I have such a disdain on the sport, is because too often this happens to people where they always try, like teams will try to, especially small market teams, will try to cut corners to save a dollar, and it's bullshit. We don't the spending that the NBA does, that the NFL does, not so much the NHL. They're rather stingy in their own right, and rightfully so, because it's not a spotlight sport. If we're talking about American sports, if we're going to put a list of sports that in popularity, I would probably say NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL. I think NHL is starting to rise up above the MLB. Because a lot of the old timers are starting to die off, and the luster of baseball isn't as it used to be back in the 90s and the 80s and even the 70s. Yeah, it's got a special place in my heart, but all in the same, it's become rather boring. You're not seeing RDA.
He's talking. They designated him the player for assignment, which means he
RFA.
wasn't.
I'm sorry, RFA.
Yeah.
So yeah, restricted free agent. But they basically, in baseball, basically what that means is they just cut the player. They have allowed him to be free, but he's restricted within his contract. It's fucking stupid. That's right? Am I wrong?
I want to say. I think he was designated for assignment, which means he is being cut, and then is free to go, if I remember that correctly.
I mean, that's right, but why would they put the RFA tag on him?
The restricted free agent piece gives them, the player, the opportunity to go sign another contract with somebody else.
But doesn't the club have to match?
The club has right to match it and keep them. But if they decide not to, then they have the potential to recoup a draft pick or some kind of compensation if they lose.
It's fucking mind games.
Yes, that part exactly.
It's fucking mind games. You know what I mean? Especially because he was one of our this season. He was one of our better players. I mean, he hit probably the most amount of balls on the team. McCutchen, he came back after years being out with different teams, and he's been more of a Roy Kent type, if you will, a leader in the locker room. Mm-hmm. Is not as bad natured, but baseball is very hard for me. I mean, for Joe though, it's a little bit different. I imagine because where he's born, and then growing up in the Maryland region, so he's more of a Baltimore Orioles fan. They're doing a little bit better. And they seem to be spending a little bit and drafting a little bit better than the Pirates. Not to say the Pirates aren't drafting well. We draft and then we ship them out to other teams. Y'all keep your fucking players.
Hopefully, we got quite a few to pay now coming up soon. So,
yeah.
Pat, for the pitch clock, that was a new recent thing. Once the catcher gets it and they throw it back to the pitcher, they now have. If there's a runner on base or not, if it's nobody's on base, I think it's 20 seconds. If there's a runner on base, they get 15 seconds for the pitcher to pitch it. So it prevents the batters from stepping out of the box, adjusting their gloves, grabbing dirt, and just kind of time wasting in general. And then also same with the other pitchers. The pitchers can't step off the mound, walk around the mound like 3 or 4 times, then come back on. So it's really just designed to speed up the play. It took some time initially for everybody to kind of get adjusted to it, but really it was just there to speed up the rate of play, because guys were in footy terms time wasting to the nth degree. They were Arsenal against us.
Yes. Yeah. It's fun because it's every single one of the fucking batters too, especially
Yes.
like the real prima donna ones, the ones that they know they're fucking good. Yeah, their setup just to get into the box was taking way too long, and
So it got out of control.
very drama queen like.
Yeah. So
Good question. So let me ask you this, Pat. What got you into baseball? Like, I know that it was this, but what triggered you to say, I'm going to give baseball a chance? Let us know that in the comments, because I think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting to the amount of people from across the pond that are starting to subscribe to American sports.
starting to get into it. Yeah, absolutely.
Specifically NFL. One of the guys that we talk with on a regular basis, John Owen, we've talked about him quite a few times. He's become a massive NFL fan. He supports the Indianapolis.
He loves him, the Colts.
Supports the Indianapolis Colts. He knows their history. Like I was really touching to hear, because I mean, a lot of you don't expect everybody to know it, and you give people grace because we understand that it is a American specific sport. Football is worldwide, so it's like, for me at least, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, where it's not really like that so much on the reversed in some cases. But I digress on that point. Yeah, what was I saying? Sorry.
I think the point was it's nice to see
some
of our friends across the pond kind of diving into some of the more American specific sports almost.
Yeah.
And getting into it a little bit more.
All that. Because in all honesty, what I would really like to see, like I get the Revolutionary War happened and that split us apart, so to speak. I would really love to see America and Britain rub elbows a little bit better together. And that's really another point of why we're here. We want everybody to feel on the same page, because there's a lot of times, especially when we're on social media, where there's tons of fucking division. It can feel like you're almost lost a little bit. I watched it during the McGuire. Sorry. We'll get the spelling right. I watched it during the McGuire Bonds drug era, and you reminded me about Boston's winner just now. But YouTube vids, the Japanese kid has got.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good that it brought you back into it. I mean, it's, there's still a lot of work too that I feel the MLB has to do in order to make it more child friendly. Baseball is an old man's game. I mean, the typical American and I would say the glory era of baseball between the 60s and 90s. It was very much for the businessman who got off early and wanted to go have a beer and relax after the game before he went home. And that's the crowd, for me at least, that I thought that he catered to. Not so much the kids. So until they really make it more family friendly or kid friendly, I just don't see it growing much more than where it is. Most of the people that are playing baseball now, it's a generation thing at this point. You have your dad played baseball to some nth degree, or your mom played softball to some nth degree, and it got passed down to you because most baseball fans, the real baseball fans, are fucking fanatical.
Mm-hmm.
I have, and it's not just on their team. You get some of ththese guys who are just baseball nuts, and they have card collections and autographs out the wazoo. I grew up with a kid, or this family that went to my church, and he was a doctor, and he was a massive baseball fan growing up. And his office, it had just built this brand new house out where I was living, and his office was decked to the nines. I mean, he had Murderer's Row ball type shit. Like, I'm trying to think. He definitely had a Babe Ruth ball. I know he had a Rolly Fingers signed ball. I know he had a Lou Gehrig signed ball. But his card collection books were boom. Was surprised when a helmet radio malfunctioned recently, as I didn't know baseball had them, and reminded me of the ridiculous looking hand signals for the pitchers. No offense, but it seemed odd. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a newer development too, where they've installed that in like the in the helmets and the pitcher's hat, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's a
very
new
good
thing too.
technology.
So it definitely does look a little odd for a reason, for sure.
Yeah. So, I remember when I played baseball, man, there were some pitchers, them and the catcher, they, obviously that's who you get in line with whenever you're playing baseball. If you're a pitcher, your catcher's your best friend. And sometimes some of the hand signals that they would come up with, fucking hilarious.
Awesome.
You had to do it at the right time, because if the infield ump saw you do it, he might fucking do something about it, or at least talk to you once or twice. But if he didn't see it and you're in the right position, sitting there doing like a stroke for like throwing a curveball or whatever, right? Making obscene gestures, if you will.
Absolutely.
So much fucking fun.
Especially when you think you're getting away with it as like a 11, 12-year-old.
Johnny U and Broadway Joe, two of my favorite QB Super Bowl era Super Bowl 3 sucked. Yeah, especially for that matchup. How? So do you have a team? Do you have an NFL team?
Also, did you watch that on television? Because that would definitely date you a little bit.
A little bit.
Which I'm here for, man.
I'm totally here for it. You know what's really wild? A lot of our, if you look at our analytics, a lot of our demographic is not even in our age range. It's actually a lot of older gents, and so that's really cool that the old timers actually like us.
Hell yeah, man!
Hang out, like that's super cool.
No. Okay, good.
Oh man,
you and Chad, our boy Chad, who's in pretty regularly, is a big Jets fan. So we gotta get y'all in on the same night, and you guys can nerd out about the Jets together.
Yeah, YETS.
Say YETS?
I sure did.
Just confirming, make sure everybody heard it correctly.
Oh man! All right, well, it's been a pretty lively evening. We're just at 1:45. That's some extra time for your ass. That's like World Cup extra time.
Free snobby boys for everybody tonight.
Right. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for commenting and having an awesome Sunday evening with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you to any new subscribers that have come in this evening, or that will come if they see this after the fact. Really appreciate you guys. We are trying to do our best to grow a little bit more, so please, please, please share our content. It's the only way people will see that we're here. Not the only way, but a big help.
It certainly helps.
It certainly does. Let's see. Next Sunday, before we go, next Sunday, we will be seriously thank Yes, thank you, Hal. All of you guys were in here tonight were absolutely awesome. And think of this as a friendly hangout. You know what I mean? Like just coming in here, talking, shooting the shit. Of course, we'll do our bit, but we're always going to be talking to you guys in the comments. Without you, there is no us. You know what I mean? We appreciate any support that we get, however it may come. But let's get those numbers up. Yeah, let's start rivaling some of these other podcasts that are in our community, because they know about us, but nobody else does. So we're like the best kept secret, right?
Facts.
The next Sunday, we will be having, since we'll be getting back into the swing of things, Premier League jumps back off against Wolves. We'll be bringing on Will Lopez from the Hollywood Kit Packs. He's going to be hanging out with us. But until next, what's today? Today's Sunday. Wednesday. When we see you Wednesday.
And next Sunday, we're going to be pushing the start back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
A smidge, just to allow, because we got some
We got late
youth
games for our kiddos.
some youth soccer late kickoffs, so we're gonna push it back about an hour, and then but Will is on the West Coast, so it really doesn't impact him hardly at all. So,
Right.
but we got we got to do our dadly duties on Sunday late afternoon, and then we'll still be here because Wolves kickoff is 9 a.m. on Sunday our time, so we'll be watching that Sunday morning, and then full football Sunday with our kiddos, and then we'll be joining you guys a little later on in the evening for recap and some more fun.
For sure. Hal, you might end up becoming one of our moderators. You keep it up, man. Thanking other people for being here. That's fucking class. I like it.
Absolutely.
Guys, thank you very much. We'll see you on Wednesday. I'm gonna leave you with. What am I gonna leave you with? No.
We would get in trouble for it too much.
I'm sitting till I die. Good night, y'all.
Night, y'all.